Okay, so one more time. I'll go through the things slowly because I literally just said everything and I have to say everything again. Alternatively, I could do like a voiceover commentary, but nah. Okay, so GT7's difficulty is adjustable. It's not a fixed gameplay. You can change the race difficulty, but it doesn't affect the prizes you get from the races. Nor does it affect the percentage. And speaking of percentage, there is technically no completion percentage in the game yet. There's only car collecting percentage, which obviously increases as you collect a new unique car. And you also win cars from these races in the campaign, and you must place in the top 3. Though the goals might vary depending on the race, but it's been top 3 for now. So you don't even have to win the race because there is no actual completion yet. So if you win the race, that's just extra money and getting a marking in that specific race to say that your best finish is first. And yeah, about the difficulty, as I recover. I have it set on the highest now, but it's only 2 points out of 3. Like 2 units out of 3. Or 2 stars out of 3, however you want to say it. So there must be another difficulty that you will unlock later, which should make the races hopefully a little more difficult. So far the difficulty has been like, might be hard to win on first attempt, and probably will be. So it's a good balanced difficulty for trying to win races on first attempt, as long as you don't use an overpowered car, but so far you haven't been able to because of restrictions, except for Sunday Cup, which has always been free. So this is like a good casual level for decent players. Then the hardest, then you will have to grind. Like yeah, on first attempt the races are moderately hard. Tough to win on first attempt, but maybe once you play the game enough you'll get more accustomed to the physics and everything, and then it gets easier as we go. But then the hardest difficulty, then you will have to try your hardest. But with this difficulty setting hard, 2 out of 3. Once you grind the race enough, it becomes a joke, basically. But as with the previous settings that I've just done, I could have easily won if I just held it together, but I didn't, so we must do that this race. So I can finally mark this as a highlight and not have to do that commentary again. I already did it twice. Because I couldn't drive and I lost the win. Oh, and yeah, I didn't say it for this. Now that this is gonna be the clip. This would be the last race that I'll be able to do. The last unique race. Different race. With the current cars that I have, because the next race is at the Goodwood circuit. It's a one-make race for the Mini Coopers, but I don't have that yet. And the used car lot changes every 24 hours real time. So unless I get it from there, then there must be like, there's a chance that it can be won from this race, in which case that would be the next race I can do. But I still need one other car for the GT Cafe menu to be completed, and then I'll unlock a new race or get money or something. So GT Cafe is pretty much your means of progressing in the game, because you unlock more races. In the beginning you only had 3, and each of them were like Sunday Cup races on very simple tracks. So yeah, I think that about sums it up. How GT7 works, at least on launch day. And hopefully we'll get a percentage later, at least until we have enough DLC content. Because not only will they add cars and tracks, but obviously new races in the single player campaign, so that would obviously affect the percentage. So we'll see how the game develops, because it's like an ever evolving product. Well, the other race I did with the Group 3 cars was pretty tough. I couldn't win it with the DualShock, maybe if I gave it more time, but I was quite far off the pace, but with the wheel it was comfortable. But still not even nearly first try, because I struggled so much to get into the field. Just like with this race. Like, I have the pace to win, but I also need to finish the race to win. To finish first you must finish. And starting the last lap. Also worth noting for this video, they finally fixed the traction control issue, the inconsistency where even if you turned off traction control from the settings, you will still have to turn it off separately for each car. But in this game they finally fixed that. It was an issue up until Sport, the latest game. So now it's a global setting, so you don't have to keep switching it off for every single car, and that frustrated the hell out of me. Like, what's the point of turning off traction control if you have to turn it off separately for each car anyway? Finally, we have a solution, and it's a good one. It's straightforward, and it makes sense. So, thank you, Cass, for doing something right. Like, fucking thank you. Seriously. Not a problem for casual players, but for pros it's really annoying when you just want to drive without traction control. And first place. I just can't get over how effective the dirty air is. I keep getting caught off by it. But it's really well done. It's realistic, like it's really hard to follow a car. So I can complain, of course, but yeah, I just can't get over how good the dirty air is. It punishes you hard if you're too eager on the gas or whatever. There we go, there's an opening. Cheers. Oh shit. That's the first time I've seen the AI spin. Wow, we're getting more realistic and realistic by the second. That happened to me a few times. And now we're suddenly third because of that whole mess. I'll have to buy him a beer or something for making this race so much easier. But in a way it's good that that's the only spin we've seen so far, because if it's too frequent then the AI kinda loses its like, I don't know, genuinity. That was cool though. Reminds me of Tug World Touring cars when the AI keeps screwing up. And the player feels more like at home. And doesn't feel like he's the player among the AI. Felt like a multiplayer race right there. Terrible line. Yeah, I think this race would have been significantly harder if I didn't have the AI spin there. I would have needed to pass a few more cars, like during turns and such, so I would have lost time. Let's not lose it again there. Nah, just go. There wasn't a gap, I just braked too late. But the AI tend to brake really early, so you might as well take advantage of that. Case in point. But I mean, it's intentional, this is a sprint race. If the AI was any better, you'd have no chance to win. So the AI is kind of like tailored for this race. Passing needs to be like effortless. And you know, sometimes the AI would leave like openings so you don't lose any momentum you've built from a corner, you can just go into the free gap. But yeah, thanks whoever spun out. Perfect. And we have one lap to spare. Let's just keep it really clean now. And not repeat the Machiura race where I kept screwing up for hours. Well, not really, but felt like it. Shite. Too much curb. Almost sucked it up, but almost doesn't count. And no music again. Nice game. I hate myself. Okay. It's close. It didn't give me too much room there. Oh well. This'll have to do. pleasure to see it again. It's done.